In January 2023, the world was stunned by the sudden passing of Lisa Marie Presley, a beloved figure whose life was marked by both fame and tragedy. However, it wasn't just Lisa's death that left people in shock. It was the silence of her mother, Priscilla Presley. As the matriarch of the Presley legacy, Priscilla's decision to remain silent about her daughter's passing raised many questions. But now, after months of reflection, Priscilla has chosen to break her silence. In this video, we uncover the shocking truths Priscilla revealed about Lisa Marie's final days and the hidden struggles that led to her untimely death. The weight of the Presley legacy. Lisa Marie Presley's life in the spotlight. From the moment Lisa Marie Presley was born, it was clear that she was destined for a life in the spotlight. As the only child of Elvis Presley, one of the most iconic figures in music history, Lisa Marie was thrust into a world of fame, fortune, and scrutiny. The world seemed to expect great things from her, but the path ahead was never going to be easy. Born on February 1st, 1968, Lisa Marie had the weight of her father's legendary name on her shoulders from the very beginning. However, while many may have seen her life as a dream, Lisa Marie's reality was shaped by tragedy, loss, and the constant struggle to carve out her own identity under the immense pressure of public expectation. Growing up in the shadow of Elvis, Lisa Marie's early years were defined by the paradoxes that came with being the daughter of Elvis Presley. On one hand, she grew up in the grandiose world of Graceland, surrounded by luxury and adoration. On the other hand, she was also thrust into a life of intense media scrutiny, growing up in a house where the walls seemed to echo with the legacy of a man who was constantly in the public eye. Lisa Marie's father, the king of rock and roll, was not only a cultural icon, but a man whose personal struggles were often laid bare for the world to see. His death on August 16, 1977, when Lisa Marie was just 9 years old, marked the beginning of a long and difficult journey for his daughter. The unimaginable grief. Losing Elvis at a young age. The loss of Elvis Presley was felt around the world, but for Lisa Marie, it was an event that profoundly shaped her life. Losing a parent at such a tender age is devastating in itself, but losing Elvis Presley meant much more than a personal tragedy. It was a loss that reverberated through the entire globe. The world mourned the king, but Lisa Marie was left to grapple with this heartbreak privately. Her grief was not just her own. It was shared by a world that had come to feel a sense of ownership over Elvis's life and death. Navigating the intense public grief while trying to make sense of her own loss was a monumental task for a young girl. It was during this time that Lisa Marie began to understand the deep complexities of fame. She would never be able to step out of the shadow of her father's legacy. It was not just the world around her that seemed to live in the past. It was herself, too. As she grew older, Lisa Marie struggled to find her place in the world while being constantly compared to her father. She tried to create her own path, but her name, her very existence, was intrinsically linked to Elvis Presley. Every step she took was analyzed under the microscope of public scrutiny. Music and identity. The pressure to live up to the Presley name. Despite the weight of her father's legacy, Lisa Marie Presley was determined to forge her own identity. She ventured into the music industry, releasing several albums throughout her career. Her debut album, To Whom It May Concern, 2003, showcased her unique voice and musical talent, marking her attempt to carve out her own space in the industry. However, no matter how much effort she put into her music, the comparisons to Elvis were never far behind. Her voice, her style, her very persona was measured against the colossal figure of her father. Imagine, if you will, the difficulty of living in the shadow of someone as monumental as Elvis Presley. Every artistic endeavor, every career move, was scrutinized in a way that few could comprehend. It's as if the world could not see Lisa Marie as an individual, but rather as an extension of her father's legacy. This was a struggle that no one could have fully prepared for, and the emotional toll it took on Lisa Marie was undeniable. Her relationship with music became increasingly complex. While she genuinely loved her craft, the external pressures of being Elvis Presley's daughter were ever present. There was a constant struggle between honoring her father's legacy and wanting to be recognized for her own abilities. She tried to be authentic, but the public's perception often clouded her efforts, overshadowing her individuality with the expectations placed upon her. Personal life in the public eye. Love, heartbreak, and tabloid frenzy. Lisa Marie Presley's personal relationships were another area of constant media attention. Her marriages were chronicled relentlessly by tabloids, with each of her unions being scrutinized in minute detail. In 1994, Lisa Marie married the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. Their whirlwind relationship and marriage shocked the world, sparking fascination and speculation. The couple's highly publicized union was filled with mystery and intrigue, as their personalities and the intense media scrutiny surrounding their every move created a media frenzy. However, their marriage, like so many others in Lisa Marie's life, was short-lived. The marriage ended in divorce in 1996, but the media circus surrounding it did not. Lisa Marie's personal life continued to be fodder for tabloids, and her brief marriage to actor Nicolas Cage in 2002, which lasted only a few months, added another chapter to the saga of her romantic history. Each relationship seemed to come with a host of rumors, criticisms, and misunderstandings. Lisa Marie's vulnerability in the face of public judgment became a common thread in her life. As much as she tried to maintain a sense of privacy, the public seemed unwilling to let her live without constant commentary. The endless intrusion into her personal life made it nearly impossible for her to find peace, and in many ways, it contributed to the emotional turmoil she would later face. Tragedy strikes. The loss of Benjamin Keough. In 2020, Lisa Marie Presley's world was irrevocably shattered by the death of her son, Benjamin Keough. The 27-year-old took his own life, and his tragic death left Lisa Marie devastated. Benjamin, who bore a striking resemblance to his famous grandfather, Elvis Presley, had struggled with his own issues in the public eye, but his passing was a blow that Lisa Marie could not have prepared for. Losing a child is a pain that no parent should ever have to endure, and for Lisa Marie, the grief was overwhelming. She had already endured so much loss in her life, losing her father at a young age, navigating the difficulties of fame, and weathering personal heartbreaks. But the death of Benjamin was a wound that never fully healed. In the years following his death, Lisa Marie spoke publicly about her grief, and it was clear that this loss had altered her. Lisa Marie's struggle to move forward after Benjamin's death was palpable. In interviews, she expressed how difficult it was to reconcile with the absence of her son, and how the pain had become an integral part of her existence. Though she continued to work and perform, it was clear that behind the scenes, she was a woman forever changed by tragedy. The silent struggle, health battles, and addiction. In addition to the emotional turmoil from losing her son, Lisa Marie Presley's life was marred by ongoing health battles and addiction. Like her father, who also struggled with the pressures of fame and the destructive nature of addiction, Lisa Marie found herself wrestling with the darker side of celebrity life. Addiction, in particular, was a constant struggle for Lisa Marie, and it was something she fought for years. Addiction is a silent battle that many in the public eye face, but it is often overlooked or misunderstood by the general public. For Lisa Marie, the constant scrutiny and pressure of living in the spotlight only made the battle more difficult. She tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but the pressures of fame and the toll it took on her health were undeniable. In the months leading up to her death, Lisa Marie seemed to be putting on a brave face, but those who were close to her noted that she appeared frail and unsteady. She had attended the Golden Globes in January 2023 to support the Elvis biopic, but those who saw her there observed that she seemed to be struggling. It was heartbreaking to think that Lisa Marie was battling health issues in silence while attending such an event, trying to celebrate her father's legacy while carrying the weight of her own struggles. The final days and tragic passing. On January 12, 2023, Lisa Marie Presley passed away at the age of 54. The cause of death was initially reported as cardiac arrest, but it later emerged that complications from a prior weight loss surgery had contributed to her untimely passing. This revelation cast a stark light on the pressures that women, especially those in the public eye, face to conform to societal expectations regarding their appearance. For Lisa Marie, this was not just a health issue, it was a reminder of the toll that fame and the constant public scrutiny can take on an individual. The public's fixation on her appearance had likely pushed her toward making drastic decisions about her health. Unfortunately, these decisions, which were meant to help her regain control, ultimately led to her tragic death. Priscilla Presley's silence, a mother's grief. In the aftermath of Lisa Marie's death, her mother, Priscilla Presley, was understandably devastated. The loss of a child is one of the greatest tragedies any parent can face, and Priscilla's grief was unimaginable. In the days and weeks following Lisa Marie's death, Priscilla chose to remain largely silent about the details of her daughter's final days. She issued a statement expressing her sorrow and thanking the public for their support, but she refrained from speaking at length about what had transpired in the days leading up to Lisa Marie's passing. This silence from Priscilla only fueled speculation. People wondered why she had chosen not to share more about the circumstances surrounding her daughter's death. Was it out of respect for Lisa Marie's privacy? Or was there something more that she was withholding? As the months went by, the silence grew more conspicuous, but Priscilla's love for her daughter was clear. She had been Lisa Marie's protector throughout her life, and even in death, Priscilla continued to shield her daughter from the media circus. Finally, when Priscilla broke her silence, it was in an emotional statement that revealed the shocking details about Lisa Marie's health struggles. It was a revelation that left many reeling, but it was also a reminder of the painful realities of life in the public eye. Priscilla Presley's heartfelt revelation: protecting Lisa Marie's legacy. When Priscilla Presley broke her silence after the death of her only child, Lisa Marie Presley, the world was shaken by the raw emotion and truth that she shared. For months, Priscilla had wrestled with the decision to speak out. Her grief, while personal and deeply private, became something much larger when it became clear that Lisa Marie's life and death were being transformed into another tragic Hollywood tale, reduced to sensational headlines. The media circus that followed Lisa Marie's passing was as relentless as it had been throughout her life. With her death, speculation about her struggles with addiction, financial problems, and even the question of foul play became fodder for tabloids and news outlets. The Presley family, which had once been synonymous with fame, glamour, and success, was now facing an even harsher reality: the public scrutiny of a deeply tragic family loss. Priscilla's decision to speak out was not easy. She didn't want Lisa Marie's story to be diminished or misrepresented by the very same media that had relentlessly chronicled every aspect of her daughter's life. Despite Lisa Marie's fame as the daughter of Elvis Presley and her own musical career, the media had always treated her as a tragic figure. Every relationship, every personal struggle, every public appearance was analyzed and distorted. Now, in the aftermath of Lisa Marie's sudden death, Priscilla faced the heartbreaking reality of defending her daughter's dignity. The idea of her daughter's legacy being reduced to nothing more than tabloid fodder was unbearable. Lisa Marie deserved more than that. She was more than her struggles with addiction or the issues that plagued her personal life. Lisa Marie Presley was a mother, a musician, a survivor, an individual whose full story had never been told. The relentless media frenzy following Lisa Marie's death on January 12, 2023. The media's frenzy reached a fever pitch. As soon as the news broke, rumors began to circulate. Some speculated about drug use and addiction. Others suggested that foul play might have been involved in her untimely passing. These unfounded claims spread like wildfire, with every detail of her life coming under the microscope. For Priscilla, this was a bitter reminder of the constant and invasive media scrutiny that had followed her daughter since childhood. Lisa Marie had been no stranger to public scrutiny. Her life, marked by both incredible highs and crushing lows, was something that the media fed on relentlessly. Whether it was her brief marriage to Michael Jackson, her tumultuous personal life, or her struggles with addiction, Lisa Marie was often cast as a victim of circumstance. But Priscilla knew better than anyone that the truth was far more complex than what the headlines conveyed. Lisa Marie had lived a life that was both extraordinary and tragic, one filled with love, heartbreak, and the constant battle for her own identity. She had been the only child of Elvis Presley, and from the moment she was born, the public's eyes were on her. The shadow of her father's legacy loomed large, often overshadowing her own accomplishments. As a young woman, Lisa Marie worked hard to carve out her own space in the world. But the weight of her father's fame always followed her. In Priscilla's eyes, Lisa Marie was not just Elvis Presley's daughter. She was a woman who had fought to live authentically. Despite the tremendous pressure of living in the public eye, Priscilla had watched her daughter struggle with the challenges that came with fame, and she had seen firsthand how the public's perception of Lisa Marie could be far removed from the reality of her life. When Priscilla finally decided to speak out, she made it clear that her purpose was not just to defend Lisa Marie's legacy, but to ensure that the world understood the real person behind the headlines. The pain of grief, a mother's heartache. Priscilla's words, when she finally spoke out, were raw, unfiltered, and deeply emotional. They painted a picture of a woman who had lived a life of unimaginable highs and devastating lows. Priscilla's grief was palpable. She spoke about Lisa Marie's struggles with the pressures of fame, her battles with addiction, and the toll it all took on her physical and mental health. But even more importantly, Priscilla emphasized Lisa Marie's humanity. She wasn't just a daughter of a legend, a woman caught in the cycle of public scrutiny. She was a mother who loved her children deeply, a musician who poured her soul into her music, and a woman who had fought fiercely to be her own person. Lisa Marie's death had been a shock, but the truth that Priscilla shared was even more surprising. Behind the sensational headlines and the rumors, there was a woman who had fought for her family, worked tirelessly to support her children, and navigated a life that was marked by both incredible success and profound pain. Priscilla's decision to reveal the truth about Lisa Marie's health struggles was another act of love. For years, Lisa Marie had faced questions about her finances, and much of the public discussion surrounding her life had focused on her money troubles. Priscilla revealed that while Lisa Marie had indeed faced financial difficulties, she had worked tirelessly to secure a stable future for her children. Lisa Marie, like many people in the public eye, had struggled to balance the demands of her career, her family life, and the overwhelming public attention that followed her every move. Despite these challenges, Priscilla made it clear that Lisa Marie's love for her children had always been her guiding force. But even as Priscilla shared these truths, the questions remained. Could more have been done to help Lisa Marie in her final years? Could her death have been prevented? These questions, while important, did not have easy answers. What was clear, however, was that Lisa Marie's struggles were not the result of a lack of effort or care. She had fought hard to maintain a sense of control over her life, but the weight of fame, personal tragedy, and the relentless scrutiny of the media had taken its toll. Navigating legal and family complexities. In the wake of Lisa Marie's death, the Presley family was thrust into a new set of challenges. As the matriarch of the Presley family, Priscilla had always been at the center of the family's legacy. But with Lisa Marie's passing, questions arose about the future of that legacy. Graceland, the iconic home of Elvis Presley, had always been a central part of the family's heritage, and its future became a topic of public interest. Priscilla, as Lisa Marie's mother, was thrust into a position of great responsibility, needing to balance the preservation of the family's heritage with the practical realities of managing such a large estate. Adding to the complexity were the legal issues that arose following Lisa Marie's death. There were reports of disputes over the management of Lisa Marie's estate, particularly regarding the control of Graceland and Elvis Presley enterprises. These disputes highlighted the practical challenges that Priscilla and her family were now facing, even as they mourned the loss of a loved one. The legal and financial issues surrounding Lisa Marie's estate were a stark reminder that even in the face of grief, life's practical matters don't pause. Priscilla found herself not only mourning the loss of her daughter, but also navigating the intricacies of family, business, and legacy. Riley Presley, the next chapter in the family's legacy. As Priscilla continued to cope with her loss, her focus shifted toward protecting her grandchildren and ensuring that their mother's legacy was preserved. Lisa Marie's eldest daughter, Riley, had already begun to take on a more prominent role in the family's legacy. As an actress and filmmaker, Riley had carved out her own path, but she had also embraced her family's history, particularly in connection with Graceland. Priscilla spoke with pride about Riley's efforts to carry the family legacy forward. Riley, in many ways, represented the next chapter in the Presley story. She was a reminder that, even in the face of loss, life continued, and new generations would carry the torch forward. It was a bittersweet moment for Priscilla, knowing that her daughter's legacy would continue through her grandchildren. But even as the Presley family moved forward, they would always carry the weight of the past, the love, the music, and the heartbreak that had defined their lives. The enduring impact of Lisa Marie Presley's life. Looking back, it is clear that Priscilla Presley's decision to break her silence had a profound impact. Her revelations not only provided answers to questions that had lingered about Lisa Marie's life and death, but they also sparked important conversations about mental health, the pressures of fame, and the impact of addiction. More importantly, Priscilla's words reminded us all of the importance of seeing beyond the headlines, of remembering that every person has a story worth telling with care and respect. Lisa Marie Presley was more than her struggles. She was a woman who lived, loved, and fought through unimaginable challenges. And through Priscilla's honesty, Lisa Marie's story would continue to inspire and resonate, even in the face of tragedy. Priscilla's journey, though marked by deep personal loss, is also one of resilience and love. The Presley family's story is far from over. As Riley and the rest of the family carry forward the legacy of Elvis Presley, they do so with the understanding that their story is one of both incredible triumph and profound heartbreak. It is a story of strength, love, and the enduring power of family.